Alright, so about 3 weeks ago, I went to a friend's birthday party and met some new friends, essentially. And we had a good time just playing board games and talking and just getting to learn about each other. And oftentimes when I meet new people, I do tell them that I do YouTube and I do video stuff and photography. Mostly video and photography. I don't actually say that I do YouTube because sometimes they ask for my YouTube and I usually just don't like showing it. Sometimes it just feels a little strange. But anyways, luckily they didn't ask and I didn't have to show it. But they talked about how one of them had a powerlifting competition coming up, and I decided to just offer, oh, if you want, I can do some photography or do some video stuff, since the person that they originally had couldn't make it. Similar to like the last minute wedding I shot photography for like last month. It was super last minute for that one though. This one was like 3 weeks apart. So having some sort of warning ahead of time really helps. Anyways, so I just offered that, and I did not expect them to actually take it because it was just someone that they just met, and you know, you're not really familiar with certain people and you don't know their habits while they work. So he definitely took a risk in actually asking me a week before the powerlifting competition, and I decided to just go for it, because for me it wasn't really about payment or anything, because I was volunteering essentially. It was more so just meeting new people, getting to check out like a new scene. Like powerlifting is something I'm very unfamiliar with, so getting to check out like a competition at the Barbell Brigade is where it was held in Los Angeles. Bart from JK Films is the one who is the founder of that place, so I thought it was really cool to get to check it out. And the day was really fun for me. I arrived kind of early before the competition started for my friend. It was running a little bit late, or a lot late, a lot later than expected basically. So I started around maybe like 4-ish, and then we ended the competition around 10:30 p.m. It was expected to end around 7 p.m. So it was definitely a long day, but it was fun getting to meet a whole bunch of new people essentially and get to talk to each one of them. Since powerlifting, if you don't know what powerlifting is, the basic explanation is it's 3 activities basically. The first one is doing squats with a lot of weights. The second one is doing bench press, again with a lot of weights. And then the third one is doing deadlifts. And each, or at least my friend, because that's who I was paying most attention to. My friend, the way that the competition works is like there's different brackets, sort of like boxing, like depending on your weight, you're put into different competition brackets. And for him, he's in a bracket where I can't remember exactly. It was somewhere around 95 kilos or 100 kilos, something like that. They use kilos instead of pounds, so it was very hard to remember everything. But basically, he was in the above 1,000 pound club. So I thought that was really cool because he was bench pressing and squatting like really, really heavy weights. I can't remember exactly how much. I feel bad that I can't remember exactly how much, but it had to have been at least over 400 pounds for some of them in order for him to reach 1,000 cumulatively. And he ended up getting second place, which was really, really awesome. I did not know what to expect whatsoever. A lot of the times for these things, it was sort of like waiting around because there's a lot of people and you basically just wait until your person that you're there for goes. And for me, I'm the photographer and video person, so I'm just getting ready to record them. And oftentimes there's just a lot of time between those moments where he does the activity, the action. So during those moments, I would oftentimes chat with someone. Like he had a good amount of friends that came to support him. So whenever there was just like a dead period of me waiting around, I would just talk. And it was really fun. I enjoy meeting new people. I've known this more so since I traveled to Bali and everything like that. But I don't get too many opportunities to actually exercise that part of me and do that social activity that makes me feel like I'm enjoying myself and that I'm happy. So it's just something to note for myself that I should definitely try to get out there more. But I think one of the cooler parts of the trip, or not trip, but the day essentially, it felt very long, was that it felt like a good sort of bonding experience. When you spend a lot of time with someone or just a group of people for almost the entire day, you can't help but feel just a little bit closer to them and just feel like there's some sort of friendship forming. And that's definitely what I felt with some of the people there, and it was just a very nice experience. And I thought that by the end of it, I had made some good new friends that I will potentially hang out with again in the future. The craziest thing is he actually ended up paying me about $200 for the whole thing. And I know some of you out there who actually do photography and video stuff, $200 for a day is actually not that much, but for me, considering I just volunteered to do it and I was more than happy to just like not take any money, like $200 is a nice surprise, you know? So that was very, very nice of him. Like, he's a very, very nice guy, and very happy that he ended up getting second place. And my other friend that I met there got third place for a different bracket as well, even though he was slightly injured or healing from an injury and everything like that. So definitely a really fun group and good experience overall. So I went into this just basically telling or wanting to tell the story of what happened in the weekend with the whole powerlifting and everything. But there was no real moral of the story, but if I'm trying to think of one and give you one, I'd say the moral of the story is essentially to just be open to just making new friends or just socializing and doing things that isn't necessarily for monetary gain, but more so just to make connections. Because for me, I definitely feel like had I approached it from a standpoint where I'm like, okay, I will only do this thing if you pay me, there would have been a lot of different interactions, I feel, a lot of different expectations, and I personally would have probably felt more pressure as well, even though I still did my best and gave it my all in terms of just recording what I thought was the best composition and the best angles. And I think at one point I even went in front of the official photographer to get a shot of my friend, and right after that, one of the announcer people said something about not going to a certain spot to do photography. So I'm pretty sure I caused that to happen, but I just had to do it for the shot, you know? So I was definitely giving it my best, despite me not expecting any pay. I just think it's fun to do. So for me personally, I don't mind just doing it. So that was, I'd say, the lesson essentially. All right, that is the video for today. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And I seriously need to improve with my off-the-cuff storytelling. It'll come with time. Peace.